It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I absolutely hope it isn't, but I feel fine either way. Well, feel finer if it's not the end of the world as we know it. But come to accept that you can only do what you can do. You can only change what you can change in each day. You can only do the best you can do, and it's better to do it. You feel better doing it than not doing it. I do. I don't need the guaranteed results to do it because it's great just doing it anyway. And even the word hopeless has hope in it, and I think there is a lot of hope because I think deep in each person is the desire to do what's right for the world. What we did first of all was that we went around meeting scientists and them just meeting scientists and trying to learn from them. But the scientists did not know how to adapt their language or how to put across facts and ideas. I mean, scientists are wonderful, I'm not saying scientists aren't wonderful, but they really did not seem to have the capacity to adapt their language and to put across the idea, communicate on climate change. So we started the group, one of the young people came up with the idea of calling it Right to Know. We have a right to know, and that adults who know must find ways of putting across the information to us. So a lot of the work is around finding imaginative ways of putting information across, and that's become real fun. It's become very creative and very visual and very involving lots of games, and young people have started to design their own games. So then they are sitting in a group. They wouldn't have sat in a classroom, but they will sit in a group completely willingly because it's a totally different dynamic. I find that working in a different way on climate change issues has brought about a change in them. They've grown in confidence because they feel, rather than just shoving something down the neck, you're just saying, this information's here, are you interested in it? And you're showing respect by finding ways of communicating it to them. First, I used to feel really frustrated because I felt quite alone. I felt a penny had dropped. I think climate change penny had dropped, but I don't necessarily move in circles, or didn't in those days move in circles with people who were involved in climate change activities. In fact, I didn't really know anybody. So it was just me on my own, trying to convince my friends and things. In fact, I can remember being out one New Year's Eve and thinking, this next decade is the decade that will decide the future of humanity. I'm feeling quite miserable, and all my friends just getting really drunk. So I used to feel quite alone, but nowadays that's really changed. Today I feel there's a total acceptance that this could all end terribly, and it might not, but I seem to have found in the personal changes I've made and the friends I've made in working on it and things like that, more contentment, as you know, almost to have become happier in the course of some sort of personal changes because of it all. I think it's an opportunity to re-evaluate what we're doing as a world community. You know, as a world community, there's been a period that's been about consumption, that's just based on getting things, using things, selling things, making profits. And that leaves people feeling pretty empty inside, as well as just eating away at what's of value in the earth. It can't carry on that way, and it will destroy itself if nothing does change. The idea that we need to keep buying and keep consuming in order to be worthwhile people or to feel all right about ourselves, I feel free of that, and I think that's a real freedom.